All right, let's get right into one of the most powerful and honestly game-changing lessons from Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad. This is a total mindset shift, and it's really what separates the wealthy from, well, pretty much everyone else. Here's the core idea. The rich don't work for money. Nope, they work to learn the very skills that build wealth in the first place. So let me ask you something straight up. Think about your job right now, or the career path you're on. Are you there mainly for that steady paycheck and the benefits? Or are you strategically picking your battles, choosing roles that are going to build a real foundation for your future freedom? Your answer to that, it pretty much reveals everything. And this, right here, lays out the two paths perfectly. On one side, you've got the standard employee. Their career choices, they're all driven by security. High pay, good benefits, becoming an expert in one little thing. Their main question is always, how much am I going to get paid? But on the other side, you have the wealth creator, and they are playing a completely different game. They're hunting for learning opportunities, building a whole arsenal of diverse skills, all with one goal in mind: financial freedom. Their question is so much more powerful. What am I going to learn? This isn't just a different career choice, it's a whole different reality. Now, this brings us to a huge problem, a trap that so many smart, talented people fall right into. We're all told, specialize, become the absolute best at this one thing. But Kiyosaki argues that this is actually a trap that can seriously limit your financial potential. And this is where Kiyosaki's one skill rule comes in, and it's a big one. He says that most people are just one single skill away from incredible wealth. The real tragedy is they never get that skill because they're so focused on perfecting the one thing they already do really, really well. Let's make this super real for a second. Picture a brilliant chef, right? Makes the most amazing food you've ever tasted. But his restaurant fails because he has no idea how to sell or manage the business. Or think about a gifted writer whose amazing novels just sit on a shelf, unread, because she doesn't know the first thing about marketing. Even a top-tier lawyer who can't grow their firm because they just don't have the leadership skills. You see, talent by itself just isn't enough. So, if being too specialized is the trap, how do you get out? Well, the escape plan is all about developing a synergy of skills. We're talking about those core management and communication skills that are the bedrock of what Kiyosaki calls financial IQ. First up, understanding cash flow. And listen, this isn't about becoming a CPA overnight. It's about the real-world, practical skill of managing how money moves in and out of your life and your investments. You just have to know how money works if you want to make it work for you. Building on that, the second pillar is systems, and this is huge. The goal here is not to create another job for yourself. It's to design processes that can run and make money even when you're not there. That right there is the engine of true financial freedom. And the third pillar, it's all about people. Because let's be real, nobody builds serious wealth all by themselves. It's impossible. You absolutely have to learn how to lead, how to inspire, and how to manage a team. Your success is going to be measured by the quality of the people you can get on your side. So what's the glue that holds all of this together? What's the one skill that powers everything else? Sales and marketing. It's the ability to communicate value, to persuade, to sell an idea, a product, or even yourself. I mean, think about it. If you can't sell, you can't lead a team. If you can't market, you can't grow a business. This is the absolute core of financial IQ, period. And look, this isn't just some nice theory he cooked up. Kiyosaki actually lived this stuff. His career wasn't some straight shot up a corporate ladder. Oh no, it was a series of very strategic moves, each one designed to pick up a specific, super valuable skill. First off, he joins the Marine Corps. Why? Not just to fly jets. The real mission was to learn how to lead people in the most high-stakes, life-or-death situations imaginable. It was a crash course in leadership and managing complex systems under insane pressure. Skills he knew he couldn't buy, but would be priceless later on. So what's the next mission after the military? You might think it'd be something glamorous. Nope. He took a job as a salesperson at Xerox. He wasn't there for the paycheck. He was there for one reason and one reason only: to master sales. And, maybe more importantly, to get over his paralyzing fear of rejection. He stayed just long enough to become their #1 salesman, and then he quit. Mission accomplished. He tells this fantastic story about meeting an aspiring writer who got all offended when he suggested she take a sales course. So he points to a book list and says, look, it says best-selling author, not best writing author. It's a tough pill to swallow, but it's true. The market doesn't always reward the best thing, it rewards the best marketed. So, how do you actually apply this to your own life? The key is to see your career not as a ladder, but as a continuous cycle of learning, where you're not just gathering information, you're actively turning it into real, tangible assets. Okay, so here's a practical playbook. Step 1 is acquire. You have to be constantly on the hunt for new skills, both technical stuff and people skills. Then synergize. Don't just collect skills like stamps, connect them. How can your knack for public speaking and your knowledge of coding come together? That's where you create something nobody else can. Third, leverage that unique value to either build or buy assets that make you money. And finally, the most powerful step of all, teach. The moment you start teaching what you know, you don't just share it, you truly master it on a whole other level. Let's end with this thought, which is really the heart of this entire philosophy. True wealth isn't about being the world's best at one thing. It's about the synergy, the powerful combination of many skills. And the greatest skill of all, the one that fuels everything else, is your ability to adapt. It's being able to learn, to unlearn old ideas, and to relearn new ones over and over again. So the real question this leaves you with is this: what's the next critical skill you're going to choose to learn?